Nigerian Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has failed to appear before Senate ad hoc committee set up to investigate allegations of corruption and misconduct leveled against him by Senator Issa Missaus representing Bauchi Central in the Senate. The Senate committee, headed by Senate Minority Whip Francis Ali McKenna, had on October 16, 2017 written a letter to the IGP as an aim to appear before the Senate on Wednesday. The police chief refused to show up, but instead sent in a letter to the committee through his lawyer declining the invitation. The IGP said he will not appear before the committee because the matter which he seeks to investigate is now in court, arguing it will be subjugated if he did. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, the chairman of the committee, Ali Keme, said the IGP excuse was not tenable. He said the matter in court has nothing to do with the constitutional issue of environment, a constitutional matter Senate want the IGP to answer.
This morning, I got a letter from his lawyer, Alex Izio, stating that the Inspector General will not appear before this committee because the Inspector General has gone to court, and there are 3 cases that has gone to court that if the Inspector General should appear before the committee, it will be sub judice, and because of it, it will not appear. But what I want to tell the press is that most of the allegation that were alleged, environment is the constitutional responsibility of Parliament to issue, and environment is not part of what they went to court. And this committee was constituted before the Inspector General went to court or any other person went to court. So their court will not debar our committee because following the principle of separation of power, no court can stop our committee. By section 89C and D of the Constitution, we still go to invite the Inspector General of Police to appear before us to answer specific questions like environment of 2017-2016, the Appropriation Act, and oversight functions which the Missaus alleged to appear before us on Tuesday next week. We go to writing specifically. So I don't want to let you know that the Inspector General of Police will not be appearing this afternoon, but we are going to write him again to appear before us on Tuesday next week. Otherwise, we will be forced to invoke section 89C of the Constitution.
The Senate panel said it will not hesitate to invoke the section 89 of the 1999 Constitution to force the IGP Ibrahim Idris to appear before it. From Abuja, Muiwa Bamdele reporting.
In furtherance of his commitment to serving and retired military men and honor fallen heroes in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has launched the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem and Appeal Fund with a donation of 10 million naira. Speaking during the launch immediately before the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting at the Council Chambers of the Aso Presidential Villa, President Buhari, who commended the armed forces' effort at protecting the territorial integrity of the nation, says his administration is committed to putting the welfare of both serving and retired military personnel in the front burner. Earlier, the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, urged private organizations to support the veterans' cause through voluntary donations. President Buhari, alongside Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Senate President Bukola Saraki, Speaker Yakubu Dogara, Chief Justice Walter Onoge, Minister of Defense Mansour Dan Ali, and service chiefs were decorated with the Remembrance Emblem. The yearly event will climax on January 15, 2018. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari Wednesday sworn in Boss Mustafa as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. At a brief ceremony before the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting, President Buhari administered the oath of office on the new SGF. Boss Mustafa replaces Babachir Lawal, who was sacked over allegations of corruption recently.
The new Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Gida Mustafa, has officially assumed office with a promise to give purposeful leadership for the good of the country. The new SGF gave the promise during the formal handover ceremony at his office in Abuja. Mr. Mustafa, who replaced the sacked former SGF, Mr. Babachi Lawa, said the appointment requires a lot of sacrifice, urging the 6 permanent secretaries, presidential aides, and staff members in the office to work in synergy for a common goal.
Looking at what the office of the Secretary to the Government ought to be, and I can tell you that we have the responsibility of ensuring that this government succeeds. If this government does not succeed, it means that we have not done our job. We are supposed to coordinate the policies of this government. We are supposed to monitor and ensure the implementation of policies and programs of this government. We are supposed to ensure that departments of government synergize. We cannot continue to operate in silos. So much investment has gone in the last 2.5 years in terms of trying to improve the lot of the people of this country. If you touch the pulse and the heartbeat of the President Muhammad Buhari, he has a deep compassion for the sufferings of the people of this country.
He commended the former acting SGF, Dr. Habiba Lawa, for the good work she has done within the last 6 months in acting capacity, noting that the Federal Executive Council praised her steering performance.
Let me start first and foremost by commending Dr. Habiba M. Lawa for doing a wonderful job, to the credit of the female gender in this nation. She's done so well in a murky terrain, to the extent that Council today had to acknowledge that. Members in Council spoke about it, about her sterling qualities, about her proficiency and efficiency at work. And I think it's a major credit to the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Earlier, Dr. Habiba Lawa told the new SGF that the permanent secretaries, head of agencies under the office, would brief him on their performances, successes, and challenges.
We have worked. I would say that myself and my colleagues and almost every staff have worked to ensure that the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, which is the Secretariat of Mr. President and the #1 advisory office to government, has remained afloat. On behalf of myself and my entire colleagues, we welcome you, like I've said, and pledge our support and uncommon loyalty to ensure that your tenure as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is very successful. Each permanent secretary will be given time to come with his or her staff to do individual office briefings, so that we can then be able to take down as much as we can to ensure that the different job descriptions in the 6 offices here are very smooth.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanit.
Nanit?
Nanit offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanit, service with a smile.
as part of the measure to boost education in Sokoto State. A bill for an hour to establish the Federal Polytechnic in Sokoto has passed the second reading on the floor of the Senate. Senator Ali Womako, who sponsored the bill, said the institution will provide full-time courses in technology, applied science management, and other fields of study. Leading the debate on the bill, Senator Womako said the Polytechnic will provide a required manpower for the national development.
This bill seeks to establish Federal Polytechnic Silame of the state and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration. The establishment of this institution is informed by the imperative to create more access to higher technical education in view of the large number of qualified candidates who are annually stranded in their failed attempts in gaining admission into higher institutions in the northwest region of this country. So the objective of this polytechnic shall be A, provide full-time or part-time courses of instruction and training, Roman 1, in technology and applied science, commerce and management, and Roman 2, in such other fields of applied learning relevant to the needs of the Republic of Nigeria in the area of industrial and agricultural production and distribution for research in the development and adoption of techniques as the Council may from time determine.
In his contribution, Senator Ibrahim Gobri called for support for the bill.
So it means that we don't have any polytechnic in that area. And where it is going to be established in Silame, this is a very ideal area. Silame is located in the southwestern part of Sokoto, and that place is very ideal. It has a very large number of people coming out of secondary school who want to go to polytechnic to be engineers, some of them to be technicians and artisans. And with this, we will be able to develop the economy of not only that of Sokoto State, but the entire Nigeria.
While rounding up the debate on the bill, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekeremadu referred the bill to the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education for further legislative procedure.
Bill for an act established the Federal Polytechnic Silame Sokoto State to provide full-time courses in technology, applied science management, and other field of studies, and to make provisions for the general administration of such polytechnics and further related matters 2017, second reading taken, and is now referred to the Committee on Tertiary Education to report back in 2 weeks.
Muyiwa Bamdele reporting. Condolence messages have continued to pour in for the national leader of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, following the death of his son, Jide Tinubu. President Muhammadu Buhari, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogora, and Governor of Lagos and Oyo State Governor, Abiola Ajumobi, and Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, has condoled with Tinubu over the death of his son. President Buhari, in a telephone call to Tinubu on behalf of the federal government and his family, offered his deepest condolence to Tinubu's family over the loss of Jide. The president, in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, described the transition of Jide as sad and painful, adding that the nation has been denied the service and the potential of resourceful lawyer. Similarly, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed shock and anguish over the sudden death of son of his political colleague and friend Bola Tinubu. Former Vice President also called on men and women of goodwill and friends associates to rally around Tinubu's in prayer as they bereave their moment of grief and loss of a dear family member. Three Nigerian players are now in line for consideration for Continental Football Award in January next year after being listed among nominees by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The three players include overseas-based Victor Moses and Williams Troy Ekong, who has been nominated for the African Player of the Year award. Egypt-based Junior Ajayi, who plays for Egypt's side El Ahly, has also been nominated for the African Player of the Year based in African 2017 award. 30 players from the continent have been nominated for the two topmost categories of the awards. The winner of each award will be decided by vote from a selected group. These are the head coaches, technical directors of the National Association affiliated to CAF, members of the CAF Technical and Development Committee, and a panel of media experts. The award gala will be held January 4, 2018 in Accra, Ghana.